For generations, the archives of the Galactic conquered had spoken of ancient beings called humans. They were catalogued under extinct species, nothing more than a whisper of an age lost in the dust of pre-warp history. Their supposed homeworld, Earth, was listed as an irradiated ruin at the edge of an ignored spiral arm. No one in living memory had ever encountered a human, and few even believed such a species had ever existed. The stories that survived were described as allegories of defiance, legends meant to warn the younger races of pride. Yet the legend refused to fade completely. Some spoke of a time when the early empires challenged the silent void near the galactic fringe and found remnants, hulks of ships, battle-scarred and lifeless, made of alloys no forge could replicate. The wrecks were ancient, their surfaces worn by centuries, but even so, the surviving power cores hummed faintly as if unwilling to die. The Empire dismissed these tales. To its rulers, the idea of humans was convenient myth-making. They had dominion over thousands of worlds, fleets of titanic warships, and armies that could level continents. What need was there to fear extinct ghosts? But myths have weight when they refuse to die. It began in the quiet sector of Narrations Reach, a border region known for trade routes and minor skirmishes. Imperial command had ordered the subjugation of a group of rebellious colonies that resisted taxation. The Empire expected a swift victory. Instead, the first fleet vanished. Not destroyed, simply gone. No signals, no debris, no survivors. Sensors from nearby systems recorded a flash of light brighter than a star, and then silence. At first, Imperial analysts claimed it was a reactor accident. Then the second fleet vanished. And the third, panic rippled through the command halls of the Empire. Unknown weapon signatures appeared in the reports, directed energy bursts that carried frequencies no known civilization used. A single transmission was recovered, a fragment replayed endlessly in intelligence chambers. It contained one line: "Return from what you took." The translation algorithms failed to identify the origin language. It was simple, tonal, and harsh, yet carried a weight that unsettled every translator who heard it. Soon, reconnaissance vessels began disappearing along the rim. The surviving scout transmitted the final image it captured, a shadow crossing a blue star. The outline resembled a colossal warship of design no database recognized. Its hull reflected no signals. Its surface bore silent scars from unimaginable battles. Commanders scoffed at the image. No empire could hide a ship that large. No civilization possessed the materials needed to construct something of that density. They labeled it sensor interference until entire convoys started vanishing. Within months, trade routes near the rim collapsed. Systems that once glowed with the light of orbital cities went dark. When relief forces arrived, they found drifting wreckage. Imperial ships torn apart with surgical precision. There were no signs of life, not even bodies. The Emperor ordered a massive mobilization. 4,000 ships assembled, drawn from across the inner systems. Every admiral promised that the unknown assailant would be crushed. They arrived at the edge of the Perseid expanse, where the last distress signals originated. What they found was not an enemy formation, but a graveyard. Thousands of derelict ships floated silently. Imperial vessels stripped of weapons and engines, their insignia scorched off. Then the sensors screamed. From the darkness beyond the expanse, shapes emerged. At first, they looked like drifting rocks. But when the debris field parted, the truth became clear. Warships, each one forged in ancient design, their surfaces etched with faded insignias of an age forgotten. They moved without plasma trails, gliding as though space itself yielded to them. Their hulls were matte black, swallowing the stars. The flagship's sensors identified metallic compositions beyond classification, carbon lattices layered with exotic isotopes. And then the signal came. This territory is under human protection. No one moved. Every officer on the Imperial bridge stared at the translation. The word human triggered 100 historical queries, myths, legends, extinct beings. But the transmission repeated. The Imperial Admiral ordered full fire. Thousands of cannons ignited, painting the void with rivers of plasma. The space between stars burned as the Empire unleashed its fury. When the glare faded, the unknown ship still stood. Their hulls glowed faintly from the absorbed energy, and then they answered. Blue-white lances of light cut through the dark. They moved faster than any tracking system could lock onto. In a single coordinated strike, they crippled the entire forward formation. No explosion followed, Just silence as the targeted ships lost power, their reactors frozen by precise hits. The admiral ordered retreat, but it was too late. The human ships advanced. There was no communication after that, only action. The human vessels moved like predators, calm, efficient, merciless. Their weapons did not create chaos but order, each shot ending a ship in one strike. One Imperial cruiser managed to broadcast fragments of the encounter before being silenced. Those fragments became infamous across the galaxy. They showed colossal ships bearing markings written in angular symbols, letters identified later as belonging to the ancient Terran alphabet. The footage was enough to throw the Empire into crisis. Fear replaced arrogance. Entire sectors whispered that the humans had returned. Scholars scoured ancient archives, unearthing forgotten documents that spoke of humanity's final message before they vanished from galactic sight. It read simply, "Do not come near the Sol boundary." No one had listened. The Empire had long ago mined the ruins of Earth's orbit, stripping the system for relics. The act had gone unnoticed, unpunished, until now. The human fleet didn't chase conquest. They didn't broadcast demands. They simply advanced wherever Imperial vessels gathered, destroying weapons, disabling communication, and vanishing again. Their presence was a storm, unseen until it was already over. Weeks later, a single wrecked human drone was recovered. It was small, perhaps the size of a fighter craft, but its design baffled every scientist. It contained no propulsion system, no reactor, no control module. Yet, it had moved faster than light ships without visible drive signatures. Its internal structure was like nothing known, metal folded on atomic levels, interlocked as if woven by gravity itself. The Empire's scientists admitted the impossible. Whatever technology these humans wielded, it was centuries ahead, perhaps millennia. The Council convened to discuss peace. They sent envoys bearing apologies and offers of reparation. No answer came. Then across a dozen worlds, a new signal appeared simultaneously on every broadcast frequency. It was short, cold, and final. "Leave our cradle. Do not return." In that instant, all communications to the occupied Terran sectors ceased. The jump gates linking those systems went offline, their structures shattered by invisible forces. No explosion, no trace. Just empty space where once stood the largest network of the Empire's expansion. Panic spread. Worlds that once mocked the myth began erasing records mentioning human relics, hoping to avoid drawing their attention. Admirals resigned. Scientists who studied Terran ruins vanished mysteriously. The Empire's grip weakened, but not everyone saw the humans as monsters. Some races remembered the old legends differently. In ancient archives of pre-conquered civilizations, humans were not conquerors but builders. They uplifted younger species, taught them to survive, and vanished only when the galaxy turned on itself. These records described humanity as a race that believed in freedom but never tolerated tyranny. To some, their return was not a threat. It was judgment. Months passed with no further attacks. The Empire rebuilt nervously, pretending victory, though no one believed it. The border regions near the rim were declared off-limits. Satellites placed there simply failed. Then one day, a merchant convoy stumbled upon a derelict world at the edge of the Perseid expanse. It was barren, its cities turned to dust, but its orbit held a single structure, a massive ringed station perfectly intact. The ship's crew approached cautiously, transmitting standard identification codes. The station answered. A voice echoed across every system, translated in perfect galactic common. "This sector is closed. You have violated the perimeter. Turn away." The crew hesitated, sending a plea for safe passage. The voice replied again. "There will be no second warning." The captain ordered retreat. As the ship turned, the sensors caught a fleeting image. A vast fleet assembled behind the planet. Dozens of ships larger than anything built in current times. The hulls bore the same insignia, an old blue sphere crossed by faint white lines. The crew never reported the coordinates. They knew better. From that day, the myths ceased to be myths. The galactic powers quietly marked the Terran sectors as forbidden. The Empire avoided conflict near those borders, redirecting its expansion elsewhere, but rumors persisted. Some claimed that human envoys appeared in secret to worlds under oppression, offering aid and vanishing again. Others spoke of hearing ghost transmissions, ancient Earth songs drifting through the static of deep space. Decades passed. The galaxy adapted, reshaping its politics around the unspoken truth. There existed a power beyond comprehension, a remnant of the first explorers who had once walked among the stars. They did not rule. They did not boast. They simply watched. And whenever empires grew too bold, whenever war threatened to consume the innocent, the black ships returned. The latest sighting occurred near the Binar,